Go over John Wall's defense because one year he averaged like 2 steals, which is a lot. Having such long arms, he uses them well. He's the king of back taps. I call them chicken strips. It's when you go around the body and hit the ball loose. It normally happens when the defense is starting to make their way around you. When they start to get a shoulder and the ball is still in the air, that's when you punch it loose. He's also good at timing the across the body steals, but be careful because you can get called for fouls when he's off them. Wall is often in help instead of having to run to help, so when the pass comes, he's ready to run for the steal. But I like mainly that once someone picks the ball up on the strong side and he's on the weak side, he's immediately looking to intercept that pass. You can see how the offense goes baseline. Wall senses it early and that the pass is going to go to the other baseline, and he jumps it. And off of these pick and rolls, when they're blitzed, he's making his move towards the roller since that's the common pass. But he's always tracing the ball, which is what anyone can do. Hands high and ready once he knows the offense is trying to pass. Little things like this can help you as you're trying to improve yourself as a defender. John Wall runs the pick and roll often, more than anything else like most guards. He's excellent at getting to the rim when the big drops back, getting downhill just like he does in transition. Wall's pull-up is actually pretty reliable. Once the big guard in the pick starts sagging off, overplaying the drive, Wall won't hesitate to rise up for the pull-up. You'll see him fade on a lot of these shots, but he kind of has to since the guy standing in front of him is often 7 feet tall. When the defense goes over screens and the big sags, he puts the defender in jail, stepping right in front of him and then holds him up, almost like posting up the defender. When the defense is square in front, running off of these screens often, he'll snake the screen and go into his fadeaway pull-up. What he's doing is literally running to a spot. Clearly not running at the rim right here. But he'll do it even if he doesn't snake the screen. He has a lot of trust in his pull-up. And on that note, let's go over Wall's Achilles heel. First up, John Wall. John Wall is one of the fastest players in the league when healthy. His athleticism and strength allows him to be a great downhill player. Downhill meaning running right at the rim, not towards the sidelines or the corners. What he's better at than most players is scoring in transition. Even if there's a defender standing right in front of him, he runs right at him, often throwing subtle moves at you like in and outs and push crosses that don't slow him down. But what he's really mastered are windmill layups, around the back layups, and low pickups, which have the exact same footwork. We'll go over this footwork in the future, but you can see how he runs in one direction, then pretty much starts running diagonally to avoid the defender. And even when the defender doesn't all the way go for it, he goes right through their shoulder. Now he's also good at finishing. I wouldn't say Kyrie level, but he's not far from it. His athleticism allows him to finish at the rim most of the time, and when you finish that high often, the touch is soft, not requiring much finesse. And he's good with the left or right. He's also good at going up and under for the hanging finishes. Lastly, in transition, he'll run right at you, and if you back up, he'll pull up at the free throw line for a jumper. This shot is normally available and wide open and should feel exactly like a layup with the right amount of practice, but what makes it so easy is how much lift he gets on the shot. A lot of this you can apply once you have the know-how. Now let's move on to the pick and roll. John Wall's ISO package is actually pretty simple. Yes, easier said than done to guard it, but it's not too much to it. Let's start with the lazy between the legs move that we went over in the first season of the Academy. He's just trying to lull you to sleep, then does a lazy between the legs dribble and runs as hard as he can to the bucket. What makes his other moves so successful is the fact that he's able to go so hard and get to the basket, and now the defense has to play honest. Now he also uses a lot of deception when in isolation, and will lull you to sleep like he's gonna pass, then boom, he's out of there with the push cross. But what he does most is he'll hop and he'll go into a few different options. He'll either shoot, go into a heavy cross, or try to blow by. Watch these examples. It's the same thing. Rarely do you see him go into a 3. He'll always try to walk you down into a 2, jumper or layup. Every now and then he will go into these little quick mixes. He normally never attacks off the second or third dribble off of these mixes. They're just setup dribbles. After he does them, he's normally going to attack right after he hops. And honestly, that's pretty much it from what he goes to consistently. Nothing too complicated, especially if you can shoot. Wall is often one of the league leaders in assists. He's an excellent passer and has a wide variety of passes that he does, but let's go over why. Wall zips passes. They get to the target so quick. And he can pass it with either hand, which is something that everyone should learn. You need the ball to get to your target as fast as possible. He's also a really good traffic passer, and it's mainly due to the fact that he gets to the basket so much. So everyone is focused on him. He throws dimes in tight quarters, but it's credit to him always looking up for the pass. However, be careful, because the closer you get to the basket, the longer that the arms get, the higher the chance of a deflected pass. I don't see a lot of guards use this, but his overhead passes are really good, and he has a lot of power on them. He's got the LeBron pass down, on the move or from a standstill, or even throws it high over the defense and it still gets there quick. Go to the skill sections to learn how to do the LeBron pass. I think I give Wall credit mostly for being such a good lob passer. Like seriously, he's one of the best. Notice how the ball doesn't go too high and he leads guys right into the lob. Main thing I want you to notice is the read. He comes off the pick drawing both his man and the screener's man. Since the weak side doesn't step up and bump the roller, it leaves him wide open. When Wall sees that, the ball is going up. He's one of the best passers in the league, no doubt. Let's move on to his isolation game. As good of a player that John Wall is, he has his weakness. It's his shooting. Now, we did go over how well of a pull-up shooter that he is, but his three-point shot is not that dependable. In fact, defenders mostly go under or sag off of him big time. When you're able to hit these shots, it actually makes you so much harder to guard. So as many good things as I can say about him, this is not one of them. When he figures it out, if he figures it out, his team will go to new heights.